Tangled up, tangled up, tangled up, tangled. Why is it so tangled up? Okay. That is bearable. I need a better setup, man. Yeah, I have a better one, but anyway. Alright. Right. Testing. Gotcha.
Stream elements.
Said.
Vanguard _ reviewer is now live. Streaming Rock Band 3 time.
Oh. Let's get it. Oops. Let's see. Bet level number 3. Which one takes more energy for? I think argument of rebirth first. See what I can make on that. I haven't done a best yet. Okay, let's get ready. Wait. Oops. Restart. Hyperspeed. God damn it. Gotta do that. Yeah, I keep it consistent. Save it for later. Fuck. One more time. Oh god, here's the part. Oh god. On right now. There we go. Oh my god. God damn it. I don't even know what to do. Demon! Goddamn! Shoes on. 40. 42. Okay. Jesus Christ. 1 star. Yeah, that. Oh my god. Okay. It's like playing guitar. Jesus Christ. I've never played anything like this before. What the fuck is going on? Nope. Damn it. Getting worse. Not bad. Better. Such a complicated beat. There is a beat pattern. Break time. Chat. Oh man. What up? Sorry, and more water. Water. So much side fill time.
I was pressing XA, and it fucking decides to do that shit. You stupid game. Yeah, I gotta start over. It didn't save anything.
He's a character.
Great.
Not real.
Great.
Oh, fuck shit.
Welcome back to Yakuza 7. We got one more hour of tonight's gameplay session. I just talked to the stream chat, but I want to be real with the YouTube audience right now, okay? Right now, I'm in the midst of playing 7 different games during the busiest gaming time of the year in 2020 and some of the busiest time that I've ever had in the last few years. That many games just came out in the last week. Yakuza 7 is one of them. I love lengthy JRPGs. I like this game a lot. But it seems to be like people are clamoring for the other games. The only way that I'm going to be able to play this game more regularly is if people support when I play it, okay? I already talked to the people on the stream, and I'm hoping that if they support this playthrough that they will cheer, sub, or tip during the stream. But if you're watching,
I swear he does that on purpose, just to.
and you want to see me take the time to keep playing it, even
I
though
know.
there's a ridiculous amount of other games people are streaming for, please support this playthrough.
Just
all
get
right?
clicks.
Right now, if you're watching this on YouTube, check the description of the video, okay? In the description of the video, there's
Still doing it full time
ways you can
somehow.
contribute, all right? Throw me a tip, whether it's during a stream or not.
Fascinating.
Check out my Patreon, okay? Don't rely on ad revenue. I'm going to say this very, very...
I'm bored already from that. parlor.
I've noticed family members and coworkers. We were talking about I forget what it's called. My brain's escaping. The Facebook and Twitter alternative for the right wing. Starts with E. Oh, Parler? Parler. Yeah. I've noticed a bunch of former coworkers in the care field and family members like talking about like, oh, our voices are being silenced on me, and we're going over to that. Do you think that there's a real worry of, not having those restraints extending the echo chamber effect, or do you think that those platforms are kind of doomed and small enough that it's not really something to worry with?
World of Warcraft best class against melee. Against melee. Classes against melee. Yeah. Mage. Arcane. Yeah, mage is melee dosing. Okay. Alright, back to it. Ease. Let's start. Drum break. What? Jesus. 25. Let's see if I can do that again. That's 25. Yeah. How about another one? How's right along North right now? Just branch out a little bit. Right. Or Clockworks. Yeah. I don't know. Clockworks. Okay. Augment, Threat, Secrets Within, Pisces. I just do Threat. You're so dead. Here's a weird fill. God damn it! Ah, fuck. How does it do it? I'm just playing this. I have to play this like 5 of these songs like fucking every week for a whole month. Jesus Christ! I wonder what Infinite Annihilator doesn't play live. Oh God! Oh, all right. Jesus. Words to the song. I don't want to. I do not have any idea of it, but that's, you know, it's friendly. Nothing bright and cuddly at all. Probably the most darkest song in the world. No. More like sad, actually. Ah, my arm. Oh. Ah. God. Ow! Oh my God. Oh my God. What time is it? It is. Oh, fuck. 2:37. Okay. Probably. I need more water. Whew. Yeah, back again. God damn. That's good. Yeah. Okay.
The devil good. Said. Hello, smiley face.
Hello, smiley face. What's going on? I'm taking a break. I was playing Fright Level number 3 by the Black Dahlia Murder. Oh my god, I'm gonna get back into it in a little bit. Just give me a minute. Let's finish this water. What do you, how was your day? Yeah, I'm off screen, but I'm here. On the outside. I wonder how many people are actually streaming this game. Oh, jeez. I'm either out of shape or just... Yeah. So my record for threat level number 3 is 34. Well, let's try to get it to 40. Maybe. 1 minute. Rock. Band. Okay, 1 minute. So. I'm the only one streaming right now. Yeah, my plan is to like FC a song on here, an Expert Plus Pro, and then do the real one on the drum set. That way I can have like double the content for the same song. Alright. Let me manually prepare myself for what's about to happen. So, here we go. Chat up. Let's get to it. Hype me up. I need it. Let's go for 40. Let's try it. Okay. Whew. Alright. Hopefully my rhymes don't die on me. Whew.
The devil good. Said. Fine, thanks, smiley face. I was looking for live on Rock Band 3 and I found yours, smiley face.
Thanks, man. Oh my god, this is probably one of the hardest, top 5 hardest songs on custom. Fuck! I'm off. I'm rushing. Control the bass. Fuck. Fuck me. Woo. Feel it. I feel it. I feel it. I feel it. That was two. Ah, come on, do the little thingy. You know, learn how to swivel off the base. Good song, dude. Come on. Okay, I'm just tightening my calves too much. It's really hurting. Now I'm doing loosen up. I'm digging in too much. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Fuck me. Oh my god! Whoa! 37! 38, come on! Ah! Nope. Close. Holy shit. Oh. Alright. Would you rather me play that song again? Or something easier? Here we go. Oh my god.
The devil good said, "What songs do we have in the game?" Smiley face.
What songs do we have in the game? The stock ones, really. I forget. This one's in the game. Oh, shit. That was in the game. Walk in the Sun. Walk of Life. Rip It. Shitty. Oh, you're talking about all of the ones I have? Let's go. The ones I'm practicing are Augment of Rebirth, Secrets Within, Dread Element 3, and Pisces. So a lot. 120 songs. Yeah. Just keep going. Pisces is the one I'm practicing on too. Shit. That one's stock. That one's easy. So another good one. Probably. It's fun to sing or playing guitar. Yesterday. That one's good stock too. That's pretty fun. That one's stock. That one's stock. That one's not. Oh, that one's not stock. That one's 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 probably the hardest stock song ever. All on here. You want me to keep scrolling? That's gonna take a while. You want me to start by artist? Yeah, there we go. That's better. That's the Chains, Amy Winehouse, Angel Anchor, The Anthrax, Eric Spire, At the Drive-In, Vince Sevenfold. You know, you get the idea. Yeah. That's one.
The devil good said, play Pacific Rim but in quick play mode, smiley face.
Quick play mode. Oh yeah. I have it on no fail though, so I'll try to do what I can. Let's see. You want me to turn quick play? I'm guessing you want me to turn quick no fail off. I'll try it again, see how far I get. Okay, Pacific Rim. So let's see. See what I'll do. Pro drums, expert, no fail. Okay, let's try it. Options, modifier. Breakneck, drum fill, navigation, extra, no fail off. Good to go. No bets, because I know I'm going to fail this, but I'll try my best. Satisfied? Yep. It was about a second. God damn. Well, what next? Do you want me to practice it? I'm gonna push myself.
The devil good. Said. Put the no fail mode.
With no fail mode. Alright. I'll do that. Start. Devil good. I haven't played this in a while. I love this song. My class. Fulcrum, do it. There we go, there we go, there we go. Nope. Fuck me. Oh! I like this part. Have you heard this song before? This part has pitch. That's what it's been at. $45, I'm guessing. There's 4, not bad. That's high score. Alright, I'm gonna play.
The Devil Good said, "Have you Metallica songs?" Smiley face.
I don't have any currently. I had Nirvana. The store was wiped out, so I had a few, like Black and Injustice for All, and what's the other one? I don't know. There's probably other ones on other discs that I have. I know there's a few on Rock Band 2. There's one Rock Band 2, which is Battery, and there's one Rock Band 1, which is Understand, man.
The Devil Good said, "Play Fallen Torches by Mastodon."
Sure. I haven't played that one yet. It literally just came out and someone made a chart of it. I'm so happy. And Oblivion is also on there too. One, two. One, two, 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 one, two. Never played this before.
The Devil Good said, "Have you Slayer songs?"
Me what? Not currently. I do have I have Desperate Cry by Sepultura. That's it. I have. Hold on. Yeah, Sepultura is like the only song like that I have. I can download more later and off stream because I'm very happy. And, there we go.
The Devil Good said that you would play Desperate Cry.
Sure. I'll do that. I'll do what I can. On it. Whoa. Hello. Oh, what is this? Oh. I played Desperate probably like 4 or 5 times. So over there. I've never played this one at all. Fail. I'm failing. Oh well. Do the rest of it. Damn. Still going. Okay. One more song, and then it's more water time. Oh god. Okay. Okay. RS. Ugh. Got it. There we go. I know the first part. I got it. Okay. That's not the first part. Favorite Sepultura song right here.
The Devil Good said, have you Queens of the Stone Age song, smiley face?
No one knows, and that is. Well, I do have actually. You think you're worth $1 on the I can hear it. I have to load it on here. Ah! Oh! I got it. Oh my god, I forgot I was playing. Yep. No one knows is a clone. Blah, blah. Okay. Great breath. Queens of the Stone Age. No one knows is a Queens of the Stone Age song I have.
The devil good said.
Thanks so
Thanks
much.
so much for the company. Now I have to go. Good continuation of live smiley face.
Thank you. Yeah, join my Discord if you want. Okay. Yeah, thanks for the thing that you're doing. You know what I'm trying to say. Here we go. 62. Okay. Let's do it. Flood my headphones, if you know what I mean. Hold on. for the company. Time for a break. I'm done. Can't get up. Let me get up. Here we go. To me. You will anyway, but try not to. Anyway.
Stream Elements said, Vanguard_reviewer is now live, streaming World of Warcraft PvP IN9.
Alright. Alright, I'm doing my pally.
It'll be a fun election. We'll talk about it. I will have fun. We're going to have fun with it here. Everybody else is going to get mad. They're going to tell you to vote. I don't care who you vote for. I don't care. I don't care if you don't vote. I don't care. Imagine caring.
I don't.
Imagine care. Imagine being at lunch and caring.
I can't do that.
You're not going to take my life. That's the way I feel.
Yeah.
You're not going to ruin my life.
Oh.
I'm on Twitter. I'm on all these things. You're not going to ruin my life. I don't care what you do. I am a being that's having a wild experience on the planet. I wish that realization for you. I wish that realization for all of you out there, that you're not subject to all this shit. It's not real. But quarantine. You know, we went to New York. They're like, you gotta quarantine, and you gotta fill out. You know, I put the cat in the hat. I folded it up. You fold it up like origami. You put it. They have these things in a suggestion box. You put it. Who gives a fuck? Cares? This state's too goddamn sloppy to be fascist. Everyone's too fat. They can't put the. They can't find their gun. It's stuck in a roll of fat. It's gonna get bad, but it won't get bad for a while. It's pretty bad now, but I mean real bad. I mean like can't leave your house bad. So enjoy the time you have left. These laws and shit, you think there's no teeth to many of them. Some of them there is teeth to, and some of them are gonna be worse. And if you can stop, by all means, if you can stop people, if you can get us all of our freedoms back, I'd like that. I'd love that. But up until that point, I'm not going to ruin and waste. I don't know how many hours, days, minutes I have on this earth. None of us do. How many tweets do you want to read about Amy Coney Barrett? How many? How many tweets do you want to read about Joe Biden's crack addict son in the Ukraine, who's fucking stealing money and smoking crack? And by the way, good for him. He had fun. Is he alive still or no?
Yeah. Oh, Hunter?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's alive.
He's the alive. The one that didn't smoke crack died. Ain't that the way?
Oh, yeah.
I just cough after I don't know how much time. Do you have any water? Is that water? What happened? That's okay. I don't need it. I don't need it. We're almost done here. I just yell so much, and then sometimes I don't. I get frustrated. You know, my aunt sent me a pumpkin with an I voted sticker on. It's like, will you grow up? I love her, but come on. You've only got a few more. Listen, we might not have that many years of going outside left. We might not have that many years of going outside left. And you people are talking about Amy Coney Barrett. Go swim while you can. Go hike while you can. Go fish while you can. Go fuck while you can. Go enjoy the world while you can. Go have dinner with friends while you can. I'm telling you, I'm not even kidding. This is not a joke. We're in a whole heap of shit. And if you don't want to enjoy whatever time any of us have left on this fucking planet, we could all get this disease tomorrow and drop dead. They could send another 5G reboot of this disease. And I'm not being a conspiracy wacko. I'm saying who the fuck knows what's the next corona.
Right.
Corona, what is it, COVID-19? COVID-20 might be the one.
Right.
That might be the one where you get it and you fall down in the middle of the fucking street. So if you're driven to be an activist, God bless you. If you're faking it, which you are, relax. Experience real friendship. Make a real friend. You know? Like Dan, who I fucking go on the road with, who's a fucking great dude, who comes on the Patreon. Everybody on the Patreon loses their mind because I'm not yelling for a whole hour and I let a person make a human point for a minute, and then maybe I have a friend and we're out there on the, you know, we're trying to have a nice conversation about it, and everybody's like, maybe this guy should kill himself. I yell every episode. One episode I take a minute to say, hey, this is what's been going on, and you're like, hey, where's the unfocused rage? Here it is. You got it here. But make a friend. Go through. Me and this kid are doing stand-up comedy in a weird fucking world, traveling all over the place, having a lot of fun, laughing our asses off, enjoying our fucking lives. We don't know when they're ending. We don't know. But we're going to fucking laugh our asses off until they do. I wish that for a lot of people. That literally, get in touch with something spiritual, whatever. For me, it's making people laugh. For you, I don't know what it is. I don't know what, and I don't tell people. It's not the Gary V experience. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm not going to tell you that, you know what, spiritual, start a vape company or a hoodie. I don't know. But if it is, it is. But you're ruining and wasting your fucking lives. Every fucking day, you're starting, you're fighting. You're fighting with people in your family that you might like if you didn't hate each other for no reason. Because you have different opinions on Nancy Pelosi. a woman who you've never met, either side of your family's never met her, whether you love her or hate her, she doesn't give a shit about you. Remember, she was given a tour at fucking Gelato in her fucking freezer, and she lives in San Fran and she says Talenti. That's basic bitch shit, okay? That's a foodie city, and you're the fucking speaker of the fucking house. Why don't you get some real fucking ice cream in there, okay? You 119-year-old. Remember when a bird flew into her Georgetown fucking townhouse and she had to chase it around? That bird was trying to drag her back to the dimension she belongs in. And somehow she fought off that bird, and she's here showing us fucking salted caramel gelato while the world fucking burns, and you guys are fighting about her as if she gives a fuck. It's the Wicked Witch of the West. Is that what they did in Oz? Well, actually, the flying monkeys are really happy. The benefit pack. What? Enough with this. Children, have some fun. When's the last time you people had any goddamn fun? Have a little bit of fun. You know, when I used to be able to go to my mother's mental institution, I would have fun. I would visit all the other mental patients and talk to them. And then I started to realize that they were actually right about the world. They'd be like, everyone's trying to kill you out there. And I go, okay. And then more recently, I've gone, go on. You know, I mean, life is not supposed to be an endless procession of yes, and it cry. Like this little guy that I have with me, Dan, he always goes, I want a great quality of life. He says it all the time. I go, this is what the kids, they go, I want a really good quality of life. And he's right, but also shut the fuck up. Don't vocalize those thoughts. Shut up. Create the quality of life. But that's what I would tell everybody out there. Go out there and get in some type of situation, universe, world where you feel you're being fucking, you're excited about something. Because, dude, people fucking die. Shit ends. I hope this isn't my last episode, by the way. This is very strange.
Right.
It's very odd, like, and I just die. And this, first of all, if it is, it's brilliant. But I just don't want, I want to stay here because I just started doing well after 11 years. I don't want to be too cryptic. But I will tell you this, you got to enjoy whatever you're fucking doing. You got to enjoy the time you have here. And don't invest yourself in shit unless you really are prepared to do the work of investing yourself in, you know? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Tim Dillon Show, coming at you from the fall. We're in the fall. We're in the season of apple picking and pumpkin picking and Halloween and other things. COVID and Civil War and blah, blah, blah. But those take a back seat to the fall. The smells of the fall, the crisp autumn air. It's funny to see companies market things with the fall, even though the world is falling apart. But everyone's still into autumn, you know? They're like, it's our last fall, but they're like, but it's still the fall. Get a pumpkin spice latte and throw it in a cup. It's still the fall. The crisp smell in the air is from the fires that are burning homes in Oregon. Or the fires as people burn down the courthouses. But that's okay, it's the fall. Get a pumpkin muffin, sit on the porch, and watch the bloodshed. It's autumn. It's the best season. Digital school is back. Zoom school is back. It's the fall. Get your pumpkin spice latte and head on out. It's spooky. It's Halloween time. It's a spooktacular. I love watching, you know, because we got to go back to some type of normalcy,
Sure.
even though things are just batshit crazy. So everybody's just like, hey, it's the fall. You know what that means. You know what's back. Pumpkin cheesecake. You want some pumpkin cheesecake? You're like, all right. Why not? Come out, because it's like quarantine's ending, but it's also not, and they're relocking down, but they're not, and nobody even knows anymore, and they're relocking down parts of New York, but some of them aren't, and it's like they're locking down the hot spots, and, you know, I'm sure that's not going to be a problem. Like, you're locking down a hospice, like, you're locking down spots of people that just are there's more COVID cases, right? So now, what if there's more COVID cases in an area that's generally a specific race. Uh-oh. Because that's what they're doing in New York with the Jews. Hasidic Jews are over it. Orthodox Jews are over it. Shout out to the Hasidim. Shout out to the Hasidim. They're over it. They're done. They want to be done with it. They want to walk around Williamsburg with those hats that I really enjoy, the big furry hats, and they're done. And now they're trying. And now they gotta lock them. I'm a little uncomfortable with locking the Jews down. Am I wrong? This is the progressive thing, is to lock the Jews down? That's the progressive ideology now? I don't want to lock anyone down. I don't care what's going on. If there's COVID somewhere, stay out of there. Don't go. These hospitals better be busy as fuck. Every nurse that I know is off. So if these hospitals are busy, I swear to God, they better be like busy. It better not be like one wing is busy and then everything else is not. It better be every floor of the hospital has got to be packed if we're going to shut down again. I mean, I'm not being unreasonable here. If we're going to start locking down specific areas, which is troubling to me, little troublesome. We got to go in and lock down Williamsburg. Wait, what? This doesn't seem to be the move. Come on. They're like, well, the Thanksgiving holiday, that is one lockdown I'm for. Thanksgiving. I want a quarantine that starts Thanksgiving and ends the next day. Everyone in their house, no traveling. Now, this hurts me. This is painful for me. Many people who watch the show, who have listened to the show, and who've been a part of me and Benjamin's lives know how much I love my family, how important they are to me, and how much of my success I attribute to them and their great parenting and their overall general support of me. You know, their occasional emails and texts. It's so, the support system I've had has been just a solid foundation. And it is sad to me. It is sad that I will not be able to see them this year for Thanksgiving. And they say, Tim, oh, we haven't gone to Thanksgiving in 5 years. Now, that is true. But the reason I've been doing that is because I've been weaning myself off like a drug. I've been weaning myself off my family so that this year I'm prepared to go cold turkey and not see any of them for the holidays. Sorry. I'm sorry. But of all the ways you can get COVID, imagine getting it from your Aunt Cheryl. Go fuck a stranger. Go buy tickets to one of my concerts on my website right now. Go to a Trump rally. They seem fun. Do whatever you want. Go to a COVID fuck fest. Go to a kissing party. Go to a Halloween event. Go to a glory hole. Those do seem rather safe. But whatever you do,
Oh my God.
don't get COVID because you ended up listening to your Aunt Cheryl talk about how great Kamala Harris is for an hour in your uncle's house while he sits there and drinks himself to death in his chair. That is not what we need. You don't want to be breathing heavy because you saw you. By the way, imagine if you could get AIDS from your family. At least you got AIDS. It was fun. For most people, getting AIDS was fun. That's the problem with COVID. No one's having any fun getting it.
True.
There are people with AIDS that are like, I don't regret that tensum I had, where I was just everywhere, in which way a dick was coming. I didn't even know where they were coming. They were filling every orifice of my body. And it was a lot of fun. I couldn't walk for 3 weeks, and yes, I have AIDS. But it was fun. COVID is like, how did you get COVID? I took a bus to work. Wah. That's not fun, is it? Nor is it going to your family's Thanksgiving dinner. And by the way, and I've said this before in the show, if you don't have children, the holidays are not for you. If you are a single couple and you have not procreated and you're older, if you're younger, if you're Benjamin's age, him and his lovely wife, they're young enough, they're gonna have kids, there's oil in the tank, so to speak. But if you're older and you don't have any children and you're just going to go and sit with your family and inflict them with all of your observations and thoughts about the body politic, stay the fuck home, get some Chinese food, cocoon yourself in a bed, and watch NCIS or one of those shows that are the most popular on TV that I've never seen and don't know what they are and I don't understand. Mark Harmon, everybody's getting court-martialed. It's about the Navy. I don't know.
I'm
And
17.
everybody, go watch The Big Bang
Wait,
Theory
what?
and eat General Tao's chicken. You don't have to go
Oh.
and get everybody sick at fucking Thanksgiving. You hear about it 2 days later, they'll be like, Aunt Kathleen was a super spreader. We're all gonna die.
Oh god.
Thanksgiving's an event for people, and it's not like Christmas. There's no gifts, so it's just a nice dinner. It's a big dinner, and there's something nice about it. Everyone can celebrate it in America. Everyone can celebrate it. It's not racial. There's no religious connotation. You can go in, you watch a little football, eat a little turkey, whatever. Most people, I don't know if Antifa celebrates Thanksgiving. I imagine many of them are forced to. Many of their parents drag them to somebody's house and go, you have to, before you blow up the bank, you have to go to Aunt Donna's. She wants to see you. She hasn't seen you since you were a child. Antifa's like, fine. Where are my fireworks? You get them back after the meal. You get your fireworks back after the meal. I imagine the Proud Boys love Thanksgiving. They're really annoying about it. They're like, come on, it's football. You're like, no, we don't want to. No, we don't want to do that. Let's throw the ball around. Come on, what are you, trans? You're like, hey, relax. What's wrong with you? I'm in a men's club. Okay. What? Proud Boy Antifa Thanksgiving. That'd be a fun video. We did a fun video about costumes and Halloween, and I dressed up like at the end I dressed up like those two.
McCloskeys.
Who were they? What are their names again?
The McCloskeys.
The McCloskeys, the famous viral photo of two people standing outside of their property with weapons. And by the way, I have no problem with them doing that. I don't know why they look fun. There they are. Now, what was going on? You had a protest going through their neighborhood. This is a wealthy area of St. Louis. Mark and Patricia McCloskey, the Central West End couple who confronted protesters June 28th with a rifle and a gun in Mayor Lydia Krustin's neighborhood, have been charged with unlawful use of a weapon / flourishing. The unlawful use of a weapon charge is a felony and can carry up to 4 years in prison. Gardner said in a statement that it's illegal to wave weapons in a threatening manner at those participating in a non-violent protest. And while we are fortunate the situation did not escalate into deadly force, this type of conduct is unacceptable in St. Louis. Well, I guess the protest was peaceful, but the McCloskeys were saying, hey, just in case the protest gets a little wild.
So they're on their way to the mayor's house.
The protesters were on their way to the mayor's house, and McCloskeys, what a great couple. Forget the way you feel about them politically. They're just fun. Any couple, by the way, can you get the picture? Go down a little bit. Go down to the left. Go over there. Right there.
This one?
Yeah, get that. That to me, blow that up. This to me is how, that is how you make a marriage work. Right there. Just people that share values. What has he got? What is that, an AR?
It looks like he's
And she's got, that. Look, what is that, baby 380? What she got? She got a little
P90, I don't know.
something. And they're out there looking at the protesters, and they got a big-ass house, and they got a lot of fucking money, and there's people on their way to the mayor's house, and they're probably chanting, eat the rich, and the McCloskeys are going, if you're going to eat us, we're going to eat you. And I don't know anything about, I don't know how peaceful the protest was. Maybe it was Girl Scouts out in the street selling cookies. But we've seen a few of these protests, and they do get a little fun. And people's property does get damaged quite often. So I guess the McCloskeys Patricia McCloskey, Patty, or as I call her, Pat McCloskey, and her husband. Watkins told reporters the pistol Pat McCloskey used was only a prop from a federal trial that the couple used in a case. Both of them were attorneys. Great.
And they were on a private street, the protesters.
A source familiar with the investigation told Five on Your Side the police did not find any ammunition at the McCloskey's home and that the rifle was not loaded when they seized it. Well, then maybe they're pretty smart. Maybe they went out with the dummy prop weapons. I don't know. In any event, I dressed up like the McCloskeys at the end of the video, and it was a fun little Halloween video. We're doing another one. Of course, last year was the famous Epstein Temple video. Hard to top that. We had a costume designer design a temple, Jeffrey Epstein's temple, which was it a music room? Was it a fitness center? Was it a church for human sacrifice? We don't know. We don't know. But there I am right here. The Epstein Temple was a great Halloween costume. We drove around for 2 days looking for those white tights. God, that was a nightmare. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
And we just said, and they said, what kind of, you need white tights? This is a good thing about LA is they can't really question you because they could be like, why do you need this? And I go, what do you mean? I wear what I want. They're like, right. I would just go to Lane Bryant, the fat woman store in LA, and they would be lovely to me.
Yes.
I am Meghan McCain. They'd go good.
Oh my god.
Shit's LA. They know better than to open their mouth. Show me the fucking tights now. Show me something that makes me look svelte. And they would have to do it. So the Lane Bryant ladies would just walk us around Lane Bryant, and I would try on women's clothes, and then the women in Lane Bryant would be like, hey, it doesn't, well, everyone's fat anyway. No one at Lane Bryant's really paying attention to anyone else. Everybody's just like, you know, nobody's thrilled to be in Lane Bryant. They were nice.
Kind.
The staff was kind. The other women in there, like, they were helping me try on things. They don't care. They're like, we're all in it together. This guy's a cross-dresser, you know. They're all fat theater chicks. It's great.
Oh god.
I miss Lane Bryant. I'm sad it closed.
Me too.
I wish I could shop at Lane Bryant all the goddamn time. If they open Lane Bryant up again, I'm back in there with those kind, fat theater chicks that are nice. They just want to hang out with gay guys and eat mozzarella sticks, and they hope no one after every show there's a rap party or whatever, after tech rehearsal, dress rehearsal, everybody goes to the diner, and then there's the fat theater chicks sit there, and they just don't want anyone to notice how many mozzarella sticks they've had. And they do that by continually calling attention to, they'll be like, oh my God, have I had, I think I've had two. Have I had two? And you're like, we know you just eat it. Cheryl, eat it. But I like them at Lane Bryant. I wish I could be fucking back there being treated with some goddamn respect. But I can't. I should show up to Thanksgiving. By the way, this should be the only Thanksgiving I consent to going to because it doesn't happen. Last year, my family did like a Zoom dumb thing, or they did a Zoom Easter.
Oh.
Not last year, but, a few months ago.
Right.
They did a Zoom Easter, and nobody knows what's going on. Half the people in my family are drug addicts. They're like, you just see them staring. They're like, I'm like, are they okay? Do they need help? They're they're living in their own filth. You see that? Their Zoom background is just a mattress on a floor. They're like, Happy Easter, Nanny! They're mid-overdose, trying to get the words Happy Easter out of their mouth, foaming at the mouth. I'm like, who needs this? Get me out of here. I didn't even go into it. Somebody screenshotted it and sent it to me. I said, I will not be participating. By the way, listen to this. My stepmother sends me a thing today. She sends me a link. Goes, my mother's turning 80. Can you make her a video? What do you want me to wish her happy birthday as Epstein's Temple? What do you want me to do?
Oh my god.
So, you know these things now where it's like somebody's birthday, everybody has to make a video and send it to them.
Yes.
Hi, thinking of you. Wish we could be there. So I just, I have my glasses on. I'm like, hey, Dorothea, we love you. Stay strong. I said, stay strong.
What?
Like the woman has cancer. It's just her birthday. my black glasses on. I'm like, Dorothy, I love you. Stay strong.
What?
Better days ahead. This is what I say. I don't even realize what I'm saying. I go, stay strong. Like, literally, she got diagnosed with a disease. I'm just wishing her happy birthday. She's actually in great health. Probably in much better health than me. Imagine that a fat guy telling you to stay strong. Like, I look like I'm literally dead, and I'm like, Dorothea, stay strong. Better days ahead. I go, better days ahead, and then I go, stay safe. And then I swear to God, I go like this. I go, see you on the other end. And then I finally say, happy birthday. It's the most cryptic and disturbing message. I didn't know what to say, and then I'm like, done. And then I just hit send because I didn't want to edit it. So literally the whole video is, hey, Dorothea, stay strong. Better days ahead. I'll see you on the other end. Out. And then probably cuts to somebody who's like, happy birthday! We love you! And it's literally sandwiched in between two peppy happy birthdays. It's like, happy birthday! Happy birthday to you! And then it cuts to me and I'm like, Dorothea, stay strong. When I make it, I'll send word for you. Stay safe. Better days ahead. Just in black glasses, and then it cuts to somebody being like, happy birthday, how old are you now?
Oh my
In a
God.
safe house. I'm just laying on my bed like this, top. Hey, happy birthday. I can barely breathe. I think I have COVID. I'm like, happy birthday. I smoked too many cigarettes last night. I'm like, happy birthday. Stay safe. Better days ahead. Hope to see you on the other side. It's just the darkest. I'm wearing black sunglasses because I was outside in the pool, and then I get this message like, hey, you gotta wish this woman happy birthday because she gives a fuck. They asked a couple of my cousins who are on heroin. They're on smack. They've met her twice. When you have a divorced family, nobody knows who anyone else is. They're gonna ask her for money. Hi. Happy birthday, Dorothea. I've run into some hard times, and I want to let you know, if I give you my bank account number, is there any way you can send a wire here? Could you send a wire here, please? I'm suffering, and I need fucking help. That's great. How great would it be? Next time somebody has to do one of those video birthday messages, do something like that, you know? Especially if you don't know the person, you're kind of annoyed by it. I know this woman. I love her. She's a phenomenal woman. She lived in I like anyone who's lived in London. Her and her husband are great. Her husband's great because he doesn't give a shit. Like, he's argued in front of the Supreme Court. He's rude. He belittles people. He ruins holidays. And there's no archetype of person that I like more than that. He did a thing where he had this game they would play after the holidays where he would bring a thing that nobody knew what it was, and you would pass it around, and you got to ask him a question about it. You'd be like, was this a tool? Was this used, whatever? And was this used in food production? And you would ask him a question, and you'd get to go around the table, and then somebody would guess what it was, and they would move on. This game got so competitive that he was banned from doing it.
God damn.
Because it got so, because he would be so specific about the answers he would give, like he was in a courtroom. Like, if somebody would say, was this in food production, he'd be like, no, and then you'd find out it kind of was, but it was involved in the harvesting, he was so specific that people would get pissed off, and then people go, hey man, I fucking kind of said that, didn't I? And he'd be like, well, you didn't. And he'd be like, words matter, and what you did, and they would start fighting. So he was banned from doing this. Like, they had to come, and by the way, he wasn't doing it at his own parties. He was bringing it in our family. Like, he was just bringing it to our, like, people he didn't know that well, and it
Holy
got fiercely
shit.
competitive. And his name is Henry. I think he's great. And they would go like, he'd say at the end of the night, he'd be like, do you want to play the game? And everyone's like, oh, let's go play Henry's game. And then like 30 to 40 minutes in, it had gone around 5 times. Nobody had gotten it. And he'd refuse. He'd be like, send it around again. And it would just be this little weird pipe thing. And he always brought 3 or 4 of them. We'd only get to like 1 of them. Because also a lot of people in my family are retarded. So they have no idea. They have no idea what they'd hold up like this little thing, like a little lever thing, you know? And they'd be like, did you find it in outer space? I'm like, we're going to be here for the rest of the night unless you ask some good questions. You know, but they're all fucking idiots. I have lawyers in my family who are like not lawyers. I have people with law degrees. My aunt has a law degree, doesn't practice. They've set up in the basement a fake law. You want to talk about fake business? A fake desk where she thinks she's practicing law. And there's nothing, nothing's happening. She's a pretend attorney in the basement of the house. This is the tragedy of the Irish. No one tells her that she's not practicing law. She's never seen a courtroom. She's worked at a few law firms, but they keep throwing her out because she's a problem. And so she sits downstairs and gets wine drunk and pretends to do law. I don't even know what that entails.
Oh, God,
There's
what?
files on the desk. She's got phones. She said once, she goes, we got to put a few phone lines in for the business. What? The business? But these are the people who are asking the questions of this really smart guy. And he's a fiercely liberal guy, but very smart. Tough to get in an argument with him. Was like a Cuban orphan or something. Laudable life story. He's like one of those guys who like, he's a dick, but he's earned the right to be a dick because he's so fucking smart and he's really lived a hell of a life, right? But he used to just throw everyone into a rage with that game. But if you have to record one of these videos, you gotta just, you know, when it's, you know, when you do it, when you hit record, you gotta go, hey Jocelyn, happy birthday. Times are not good. I know you and Frank are not doing well either, but I'd really like some help. So I'm asking, I know it's your birthday, but I'm asking you for help. So for the love of God, please give me a call. I haven't heard from you in months. Send something. The kids are going to bed hungry. Like something like that. Because then, by the way, it would cut right after that to happy birthday, Jocelyn. Like it's fun. I think it's rude to ask people for video messages. Just assume people kind of love you, which is what a family is. A family is a bunch of people who kind of love each other. I don't want to see anyone die. That's the standard of love in most families. Yeah, I don't want to see anyone get demolished in a car wreck. But what else? That's the standard of love in most families. Yes, I would be very upset.
Wait,
When I say very
fuck.
upset, I would be bothered. Let's take it down. I would be bothered if one of my family members was mangled in a wreck. You know what I mean? Like I would feel bad for the other people involved, and I would say that's not good. I would call Benjamin and I go, that's not good. But then we'd start talking about sponsors and ads quickly because you move on. You move on from these things. I mean, people are asking me the birthday videos. I haven't seen these people in 6 months. We're done already. If you don't see people in the flesh, this is the problem. If we go through the holidays this year and you don't see anybody, you're kind of done. You're out. You don't go back next year. If you're out for a year, it's hard to go back. Now, obviously, you can go back. Many of you will go back because you're weak. But if you've gone the full year and you're going to do holidays on your own and you're going to realize that you can do that. Most people don't think they can do a holiday on their own. I've gone out to dinner with people. My mother didn't like my father's family because they all used to drink and she would instead take pills. So she didn't like that. She didn't like, she didn't like that they were drinking all the time and she just wanted to take Sudafed in the diner. Hats off to Mom. And she would go have Thanksgiving by herself at 3 p.m. at a diner in Long Island. They do a nice job. They do a good job. It's tragic either way. If you're sitting next to some drunk who's gargling some problem she has with another family member from 20 years ago, or if you're sitting alone at a diner eating cranberry sauce, all pilled up, whichever way you cut the turkey, it's a shit day. You don't have to. You see what I'm getting at here, folks. Make choices, live by the choices. Ladies and gentlemen, we're not selling enough Blue Chew. Please buy the dick pill. We are selling in well with all the other products. Some maybe our fans just have hard dicks, or maybe they don't have sex and don't need a pill. But like I said many times in the past, you don't have to have sex. You can enjoy this pill. You can take it, wake up, look at it, and go right back to sleep. It's nice just to see it perked up. Blue Chew is great. It is. We're talking about great sex all night long, hard dick. It's the first chewable with the same FDA-approved active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis.
My
It's
God.
made in the USA. It's prescribed online by licensed physicians, so you don't have to go to a doctor or wait in line. It's even cheaper than a pharmacy, and they prepare and ship it right to you. In a discreet package, no awkwardness, and you don't need to leave the house. How cool is that?
Okay.
You should be impressing the people you have intercourse with, and you know, I think this is the way to do it. It is really, really good to take a pill that makes something work better. That is why pills have existed for, they say millennia, but I don't think they have existed for millennia. What was the earliest pill? What was the first pill? Just type what was the first pill. We're going to go on a list.
1890.
1890. 1898, heroin is introduced. First thought to be non-addicting. So heroin was the first thing that came out?
I guess it was a pill, yeah.
Heroin was the first one?
And then a year later, aspirin.
Isn't it amazing that the best one was the first one? Have they made literally no advancements? They first came out with H.
I know.
Well, we're not saying do that. We're saying Blue Chew. BLUE, Chew. CHEW.com, promo code TD to try it free. Blue Chew is the better, cheaper choice. We thank them for sponsoring the podcast. Remember, when you support our sponsors, you help make this podcast possible. So please be sure to use our promo code TD at BlueChew.com. Okay? Everybody needs privacy, security, peace of mind. How do you get it online? ExpressVPN. ExpressVPN lets you change your online locations. You can control where you want sites to think you're located. Open the app, select a location, tap one button to connect, and refresh the page to access thousands of new shows / movies. Choose from almost 100 different countries. Watch Studio Ghibli films, anime on UK Netflix. Watch anime on Japanese Netflix. Watch Doctor Who on UK Netflix. See more examples in top right corner. Oh, sorry. This works with any... This works. It's behind the scenes. Why would you choose this over the other VPN? Why? There's no buffering or lag. You can stream in HD with no problem. It's compatible with all your devices, phones, laptops, media consoles, smart TVs, and more. Not only does it let you change your location, it also encrypts your data and lets you surf the web safely and anonymously. And by the way, it's a great way to support the Tim Dillon Show. It really is. You support the advertisers. You're supporting the product, the content that we bring you. ExpressVPN.com/Tim Dillon to get an extra 3 months of ExpressVPN free. That's 3 months, 90 days of free service. I don't know where else you're getting that fucking deal. ExpressVPN.com/Tim Dillon. This is a really good VPN. The quality is phenomenal. Ben uses it, and he will attest to it. I don't have a computer. I don't really participate. I have a phone, and then Ben just produces my life, not only the show. If we're out to lunch, I'll go, look at that, and he'll type in something. I go, oh, yeah. You know, and sometimes it doesn't make sense. Like last night, I was like, what is the Sonoran Desert Owl? And Ben asked me. He goes, it's horned. And I go, oh, yeah. But Ben uses it. He's the one that's online. He's surfing the web. He knows the deal.
You gotta have one. If you're not using one, I don't know what you're doing at this point. You gotta have a VPN.
How are you going to watch Cuties? Go to expressvpn.com/Tim Dillon to get 3 months free. And I believe that is a great deal. That is a good deal. Donald Trump is moonwalking. He seems ebullient. He seems... The polls are not good, but the polls weren't good in 2016. But the polls the national polls have Biden at a 9-point lead. That's probably what they had Hillary at. Pennsylvania's got Biden up. Florida's got Biden up. Michigan's got Biden up. Democrats have taken an early lead in voting. Here's the way I feel about this election, because many people are asking me the way I feel about this election, okay? This is the way I feel about this election. We're at a point now in this country where imagine the country is a corporation. Half the people in the corporation are convinced that the CEO is trying to kill them. Now, whether that is true or not, it's becoming a very tough company to run. Do you understand? And the CEO is tweeting out occasionally like, maybe I'll kill you. And you're going, hey, this seems unnecessarily incendiary, does it not?
18.
And the other guy that might want to run the company is the guy that sniffs everyone's wife's stiletto heels and is asleep. And then one guy is tweeting, I may kill everyone, LOL, but I won't, wink, wink. And then the other guy's like asleep and dead. And those are the choices of who's going to run this failing corporate. And by the way, it's a company where we make things that nobody wants anymore. We make Pogs.
Oh,
We're
God.
a company that makes, remember Pogs? Remember those?
POGS.
Yes. Yes, and slammers and spinning. It was a major thing when I was a kid. Nobody wants them, and they were major. They were this is before Pokemon, before any of that. People remember Pogs. America, as a company right now, manufactures Pogs. It's just, that's the election. Trump has not done a great job at leading the company. He hasn't. Leading the company is not all about the ideas of the person, which Trump, a lot of them, I don't know how many ideas he has that are doable or that he cares about trying to do. But it's also about, like, what about just the day-to-day psyche of an environment? Have you ever worked in an office and then the person who's leading the company like, there was a guy, rest his soul, named Mike McHugh, who used to run a company I worked for. The guy was a built, chubby, Irish guy. You felt good when you went to work at this mortgage company because it was a legit company on Long Island, and he had started it out of college, and he was like a respectable guy that you wanted to respect you, and he just acted the way a CEO should act. That's the way he acted, right? I didn't know him. I didn't have that many dealings with him. But let's just imagine that what I observed was a guy who's, when they're like, that's the guy who runs the company, I went, right. He didn't get drunk at the Christmas party, threaten to kill the staff. He didn't say that the other mortgage companies should go to hell. You know, like, it was just, it was a level of decorum that he had. Now everybody goes, that doesn't matter. Well, it does matter if you don't want to live in an insane asylum. I don't care what this guy tweets, but yeah, this is the thing. California's going to hell, vote Trump. New York's going to hell, vote Trump. You know, I said on Twitter the president shouldn't be doing this, and everybody got mad at me. They're like, well, he's right. You know, and it's like, it doesn't matter whether he's right or not. And by the way, the country's going to hell, so he could just list all 50. Go down the list, all 50. And that's not even his fault. I don't know that he's helping. But when I said that, people got mad at me like, whoa, I'm like, the president, it should just it's maybe not a good idea to say that states are going to hell. Because maybe our enemies and the people who wish to do us harm might feel that we're a bit fractured. They might go, what's going on over there? He goes, New York has gone to hell. He goes, Illinois has no place to go. Sad, isn't it? Vote Trump. This is the reasoning he's giving.
All right.
If you don't want to go to hell, vote for me. He's a lot of fun. If he goes, it'll be, but it's becoming, you know, how are you that invested in this that you want to deal with the whining and the yelling and the screaming and the nonsense? And if it was all ridiculous, like if he wasn't pouring any fuel on this fire, which he is, you would understand it. You'd be like, hey, they're fucking nuts. And I think the other side is bad to the bone bad. The only reason that I think it might be him losing might take the foot off the gas is because I think Kamala Harris is going to be the president, and then eventually it's just going to be Obama too, and nothing is going to get done. The country's going to be destroyed. It's not going to matter anyway, but it will be somewhat livable during that period. It won't be nearly.
okay.
Trump's not turning it around. He's not turning around. I don't know who I have to tell this to. He's not turning it around. Okay, maybe he wants to. Maybe let's say that, for example, during his years as a philandering billionaire, he was actually thinking about the American worker, and now he's finally got the chance to prove that. The forces, let's say that, which I don't believe, but let's say that the forces and the mechanism, he just can't get anything done. He's too volatile. Kamala Harris is going to come in, and I don't know what happens, but I'd really like to go back to apathy. Let's go back to, let's return to apathy. No. We want to be activists forever. No, you don't. Where were you during Obama? You were doing that. You were in Brooklyn. You were in these cities, in these rapidly gentrifying cities, and many of you were on stage doing comedy with funny hats and canes, and you were dressed up like flappers in the 20s. So you didn't give a shit. You just want to not go. You want to go back. You want to go to a place where you cannot. You don't have to give a shit anymore. And by the way, I want you to go there too. I want you to go there quickly. So I don't even care anymore. Elect Kamala. Elect Beyonce. Just shut the fuck up. What will make you happy?
Damn.
Nothing has ever changed. What will do it for you? Go swim in a fucking lake. What will do it for you people? When will you fucking realize it's not up to them? It's up to you. You do something you like. I don't know what to tell you. For the love of God. But it's all the president's coming. We win, you lose. You're wasting your lives talking about this horse shit. But whatever, keep doing it. So that's where I am at this election. If Trump wins again, I'm going to wake up, yeah, Trump's in again. If Biden and Kamala win, I go, yeah, they're in again. I'm just going to look out my window, and hopefully it's all not burning. And if it is, I'll get in my car and drive away. That's how I feel about the election, if I can. Or I'll be taken out of that car and beaten to death in the street. But either way, that's how I feel about the election. This war you're all fighting isn't real. It's on your computers. It's not an actual war. Yes, I think you should get health insurance. I thought Bernie Sanders would have been an interesting guy to elect. Why? He's outside of the system, and I don't know that Bernie would have been able to get anything done that he wanted to get done. But giving people health care, giving people a certain safety, sense of security, so that they don't have to fucking go bankrupt when they get sick, is as good a reason to pay taxes as I can think of. It's better than bombing Pakistani weddings for a terror war that is pretend. Remember that? That's pretend. That's another thing that's pretend. It's a fake terror war. It's all pretend. This is a school play for billionaires. And you people get invested in it all the time, so you don't have anything else to do. You're bored. Get a hobby. The great Trump says it all the time. Get a hobby. Learn how to master tennis. I don't know. It's not my business. But I want this election to, you know what I want to win? I want apathy to win. Let's go back to that. Because Stanhope had a great point. When they took to Stanhope, they're like, why don't you care anymore? He's like, remembered when I cared and it did nothing? So you people caring's maybe making it worse. It actually might be making it worse. Yes, Tim, what you're rolling over, you're saying that the elites should just be, guys, I don't know what you think you're doing. I don't know what effect you think you're having. Between what they're gonna do. Yes. Should women get abortions? Yes. Is this bitch Amy Coney Island hot dog, whatever her name is she gonna put babies back in the puss? I don't know. I hope not. I don't think it's gonna happen. Roe v. Wade hasn't been overturned since 1965. Are they gonna make it harder to get an abortion? Maybe. I hope not. Are they gonna reverse gay marriage? I hope not. Is it possible? Sure. I think these decisions would go to the states. The majority of the states would have them. I think it's the fucked up social conservatism shit. I'm not in for any of that. But I'm not in for any of it. I'm not in for any of it. The Supreme Court also, for the most part, these social issues that everybody talks about, that obscures the fact that what the Supreme Court really does is protect the interests of multinational corporations. That's what they really do. But you don't hear about those decisions because everybody's talking about the great debate about should a baby be able to transition in the womb? And it's like, yeah, it's an interesting question, but also, how about the company that's giving you cancer and killing you? What are they allowed to do? Well, they're allowed to do anything they damn well please. The Supreme Court's also doing that shit. Can you get politics out of your goddamn heads for a minute and enjoy it? Can you enjoy the dissent? Enjoy it. Remember when you had a party and you couldn't clean up the next day and you heard the doors of your parents' car shut? There was a moment of sheer terror, followed by a moment of almost immediate acceptance. We're caught. We're done. Then you just started worrying about what was it going to be? A grounding? Who knows? Maybe they had fun on their trip. Maybe they'd be lenient. But after that moment of sheer terror, you were like, you looked around at the house and you knew it was so bad that it wasn't one or two things you could grab. There was so much shit. They knew what was happening. They're gonna get you, and you just had to kind of release yourself and go, hey man, sorry, we had a party. But that's what you're gonna have to tell your children. We had a party for 50 years. We did it on cheap credit. We did it by going all around, all over the world and doing things we should not have been doing. Bad things. We had a 50-year party. We bought homes and cars and we mortgaged them and we put them on credit cards and we took out lines of credit. We took out big mortgages. We built big, beautiful cities and then stopped giving a shit about them. And we financed this with expansion. That was financed by war and deceit and fraud. And then we also, did this on the backs of immigrants that we pay slave labor to. And we did a lot of bad things. And there were good things that came with that, sure. But we've had a party. We had a big party. And the party was fun. And the music at the party was fun. And well, now the music's not too fun at the party anymore. Because nobody can sing anymore. You turn on the music and everybody's like, this isn't that fun anymore. And you used to be able to turn on the TV at the party and see some fun stuff and chuckle and go, but you can't, because you turn on the TV and it's Chelsea Handler going, you're white, you're white. So that's not fun anymore either. And the party itself is starting to feel not too fun anymore. But then there are people at the party that are going, we can keep the party going if you come into this room. And you go, what's in this room? And you go, well, there's a million words you can't say, and you can't look at each other, and you can't have any feelings, thoughts, or expressions. And here's a little chip, and we're putting it in your ass. And do you have coronavirus? And put on your mask, and don't speak. And if you have a business, you can't run it. Stand in the corner and look at the fucking floor. And there's other people that are going, well, we can keep the party going too, but you got to come in this room. And you go, what do you do in this room? We just jump around without the music, and if you say there is no music, we kill you. We just say the party's going and it's fun. And then you go, well, if I point out that the food sucks and there's no music, then we say, no, dummy, did you read Q? There isn't supposed to be music at this party. Music's the devil. And you go, what? What about food? And you go, you don't need any fucking food. Q provides you all the nutrition you need. And you go, so I have a choice between one or two of these rooms, or you could just sit in the living room and wait for the parents. And you know who the parents are going to be? President Xi and China. And when they open that fucking door and they say, we're here, you're going to say, Mommy and Daddy, I love you. I'm so
Oh my
fucking
God.
sorry. I could have went in one of these rooms with the crazy people, but I decided to sit here and stay here and wait for you. I'm so sorry. The kids from school brought people I didn't know, and they started
I'm
drinking
like
and smoking and throwing
real
lamps,
sorry.
and they started buying houses and cars and going to war with other houses, and I didn't consent to any of that. I just listened to music. I was just trying to get my dick sucked in the closet. I'm trans, by the way. And then Mommy and Daddy, we didn't know. We didn't know, and then Mommy and Daddy are going to say something in Chinese, and then they're going to zap you, and you're going to fall to the floor, and they're going to give you a social credit score, and you're going to say, well, it is what it is, folks, because the party's fucking over.
Damn. That was funny.
There are people...
Different one. AOC, Devins, wake up.
What we're watching from AOC this week is what, you know, I've been talking about in terms of like there's two halves of her as a new politician. One is the ideology, right? Which is you know, I think we're all aware of. And people can debate it like, you know, how far left and not she is. I mean, she's perfectly fine left for my taste. But the other half is her partisanship, in the sense that like she understands like this, we're on a playing field. There's an opponent across the way. Distinct from
Oh, we have
ideology,
a second one.
there are
maybe.
certain things that we should be doing that we're not doing, and they are doing, and they're winning.
No, but
And-
you know, the internet talk shows say on the left that she needs to go harder. Go harder. Yeah. I mean, no, who cares? But it's just
I
like
mean, this is what's happening this week, and what's interesting to me, and I've noticed, like, I saw an interview with Clyburn on, you know, with someone on Axios, and it's also like a bizarre interview. I just thought
So
like that I don't know if it's part of their show, but it was like very much like it was a weird interview. But Clyburn, what they're doing, and I've never seen it so explicit. I mean, I think this is a dynamic that's happened for a long time, but I've never seen it so explicit because AOC has been very, very specific about this. And like I say, Doug Jones came out and uttered the exact same thing. And I do not think that AOC and Doug Jones are necessarily politically aligned, at least in the way that they project out. And there was also another piece about this today in the Washington Post by the guys from the Monkey Cage, some academics who made the similar point. This is not... You could argue that there is some correlation because of from an ideological standpoint, but the argument that she's making is not an ideological one. You can adopt the template that she's talking about, regardless of what your politics are. It's an execution. It is one about like following certain mechanisms to win. Just the idea of like, let's do a 5-year plan instead of a 6-week plan. Like, let's invest so that we don't need payoffs. You know, this is like, it's almost like you could apply this to to building a baseball team. And, you know,
well, I mean, her reaction was to Bustos, and right? I get that right? This is the one name I can't get. In case yeah, Bustos.
Abigail,
Spanberger,
yeah.
right? Jeez, I'm already in the majority report tradition of being unable to say names, right? But that was a reaction to the call where they were attacked, and she basically said, no, we have things to offer the party with being in favor of Medicare for all and a Green New Deal. She wasn't mandating, like, you know, we would like that if everyone in the party was for these things, but she wasn't mandating that someone in a deep red district that doesn't think that this is what they believe or what their constituents want, that they get behind it, right? Eventually we'd like to get there, but the media and the Democratic Party apparatus and people like Clyburn are being disingenuous when they're saying, oh, you know, she wants us to basically lose our districts districts and running on defund the police. No, she's saying, don't just smear us publicly because we're members of your caucus and this is what our constituents want, and you don't need to go out of your way to shiv us in the side.
And her argument is that these are not liabilities for, you know, the fact that we in New York have this position is not a liability for you in Kansas or wherever you are. And the reason why Clyburn, I think, is being disingenuous about this, because he clearly is. That's what I'm saying. It's like he is creating a straw man insofar as he's saying, we don't need her telling us what we should believe in. No, she's not telling you that.
Bill.
She's saying, you guys, we need to build an apparatus that's going to support even you, Clyburn, although he doesn't need it in his district, but
What does
others.
that do?
And the reason why Clyburn is taking it as if it's about an ideological argument is because I think they're very nervous to have the idea that you can actually run on more progressive policies. I mean, look, it used to be you can't raise money.
Yeah.
Right? That was the thing. It's like you can't raise money. But now we can, A, regardless of what your policy sets are. You don't need to have corporate backers to raise money. B, we've also learned that raising money, if it's misspent and it's not deployed in the right way, it doesn't make a difference. You know, you can have advertising, but if it's really just a way for other people to make money, then it's not, you know.
The one thing that I thought was missing from her argument, and I thought what she said was beautiful, and it was, you know, she really clearly illustrated the problems in the dynamics and the problems in, like, the perspective, like the cracks in their arguments, right? One thing that I think has somewhat been kind of lost in this narrative, and in the last couple of years I've seen on the left, is really talking about labor, and I'm not saying it from, like, the Rust Belt labor.
What the hell is the proof of purity?
We're in America right now, in the middle of this pandemic, and if you really want to be able to influence Biden, and if you want to win back many of these states and these swing districts, you know, it is, the majority of labor is people of color. So if we're going to talk about race, I think there's a way, and you know, she mentioned, like, we have a racist problem in this country, and of course we do. We always have, and in many of these swing districts, you know, it was revealed that there were people who were very fearful because of defund the police or whatever messages, and that is true. That can be true, as well as what she is saying. And so what I'm saying is that if she talked more about labor, if she talked more about how people of color on the front lines of this pandemic, you know, whether they're domestic workers or nurses or teachers or building trade people, you know, they are majority people of color, and they've been hit the hardest by this pandemic. But matching that with the argument in the more white districts, that's always been the intersectional message. And for some reason, I feel like we're kind of like talking around it and not just saying, if we have a strong populist message, it's what can work in Queens and the Bronx and in Joni Ernst's district.
I think that there's two separate arguments going on here. That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, you're talking about a rhetorical argument that is, that I'm throwing in with an ideological one. And I'm not even necessarily talking about messaging in this instance, and I don't think she is either. I think she's talking about simply apparatus. You know, when
I disagree. She said that there's a racism problem in this country, and if we put a bunch of internet ads out, I mean, that wasn't. I disagree on that. I think.
Well,
I don't know.
We'll talk to Ryan Grimm about it tomorrow. We'll see about that. Maybe
no, I mean, but I know she believes in the apparatus and she's talking about that, but I also think a lot of this has to do with messaging too. You know, she wants to go into white districts and talk about race, and it's like, well, how do you talk about race in white districts without making them feel like the New Yorkers are coming?
Everbloom.
I think the fight that we're seeing here is sort of more almost of your fight of, like, we have
What's this called?
a sclerotic and in many ways corrupted process where, you know, frankly, like, Air America was like this too. Like, the guys would come in, the old radio guys would come in, and at one point back in the day, back before Blue Digital was with Obama, like back when they were first starting out, we had an opportunity from these guys, like around 2007. They were like, we will deploy all of everything we have. When they were just developing all the tools to be able to pinpoint who we will work with you for free, basically, to isolate where your listeners are. so that you can concentrate your advertising, your marketing, where your listeners are, and actually drive your Nielsen ratings by basically talking to people who are either your listeners, because we can break this down by zip code and see who's getting REI magazines or whatever it is, and find out who your listeners are, and get people who aren't even listening to you to see it as a form of activism if they're on Nielsen to say, we're listening, right? And the response from the radio executive, these guys they're also not very bright. They're like, well, that's all well and good, but instead what they're going to do is they're going to give $500,000 to their buddies who work for a printing company who do hit radio. We're going to do a contest, and they send out a blanket mailer, right, to like huge swaths of people, because instead of doing the micro targeting that they could have gotten, because they're paying their friends and they know their friends are either going to give them a kickback either now or later in a different gig, and we do that and our ratings literally dropped after this huge expenditure of cash. And that was like that, was a perfect example. That's a perfect example of what's problematic with the Democratic Party apparatus. You've got people who are dealing with each other because it's like, look, I got your back, you got mine, I got you in this job, you get me in the next job, et cetera, and you need people to come in and sort of like have a vision of actually like promoting the Democratic Party as an organization. You could call it whatever, it doesn't matter what it's called, it just so happens to be the Democratic Party, and it's a group that is trying to sort of like market and build an organization for the people who sit in it. And some of that is ideological, but for the most part it's just simply like best practices that are not a function of putting money in your buddy's pocket, in this person's pocket, and going forward.
I'm gonna it still happens on the left too. So how do we not, this happens every time there's like a big division. It's like the left comes up with their version and then they start doing it too. And then it becomes Blue State Digital, which went from being like a couple of guys just to the largest data and internet, firm on the Democratic side, running a presidential race. So how do we prevent ourselves from doing that? And I think I'm just trying to find grooves in her argument that could be built on, meaning we're not going to be all internet. We still have voters who are over 65. Her race in Queens is very, 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 very different than even Jamal Bowman's race, which had mailers, which had ads, also had internet ads. Internet ads are really great for fundraising, but we can't go all or nothing.
I agree. I think it's just a question of best practices as opposed to, and I think, frankly,
was she suggesting all or nothing? I feel like it was more just about a larger investment in online advertising. That was my sense of it.
Yeah, I also don't necessarily buy it. I know that they showed the DCCC spending on internet advertising was crap, but I know a lot of these other races. I think it just needs, if we're going to make these arguments, we have to be really on top of it, because we are looking to her for guidance, and it's really important that if we're going to build our campaigns the way we are, and she works with Justice Democrats, we're very clear, because other people are going to look and say, okay, this is how I'm going to run my race now. And so that's all I'm saying is we can't hyper-correct. The DCCC didn't spend money because their races were getting all the money. They didn't need to.
Yeah, I guess my point is that there is an operational problem with the Democratic Party. There's also, I think, a messaging problem. I think from a legislative perspective, I have a critique of the way that Pelosi, lack of oversight and tying Republicans to Donald Trump. But you need all of these things working to win, and and then new leadership comes in, and then they get sclerotic too. But I don't think this is a one and done type of situation. I think this is an ongoing problem with human beings. Like you say, it happens on the left, happens on YouTube, happens everywhere. But you gotta keep filtering through.
Yang speaks
6,000. Jesus Christ.
Your data is your business. Protect it at expressvpn.com/yang.
both sides keep some problems alive, people keep turning out on that.
Oh yeah, I can get you angry about this issue forever, but then if we have a compromise, and immigration could be like, the perfect issue about this. People have been looking and agreeing on many aspects of immigration reform for years, but right now, if they don't do anything, it ends up empowering you in terms of voting energy and financially, because your base is very, very ginned up about it, and so you almost don't want it to go away. Like, if you solve the problem, then what are you going to do to whip people up?
Exactly, and so what's interesting is, about a decade ago, surveys showed that Democrats and Republicans had roughly similar views about the value that they believe immigrants brought to the country. And now, 10 years later, because of this successful weaponization of the issue, the views are wildly divergent, which now leaves this as something no one wants to solve, and they'll keep raising money on it and turning out people on it. And there's something wrong with an industry that has more money flowing into it the more they don't solve the problems.
Damn. Thought-provoking.
It is my pleasure to welcome to Yang Speaks, the founder of the Institute for Political Innovation, former CEO of a multi-million-dollar business, and now political reformer and author of a tremendous book called The Politics Industry. Catherine Gale, welcome, Catherine.
I am so happy to be here, Andrew. Thanks for having me.
Well, I learned so much from your book that you co-authored with Michael Porter, who's one of the grandfathers, I guess maybe godfathers, he doesn't want to sound old, one of like the godfathers of management consulting and business wisdom. And the way you both approached what's going wrong with our political system was, to me, so spot on. But I want to start way, way earlier, which is, how the heck did you come to this sort of work? I looked at your background where you worked in business for a long time, it seems like, and even started and ran your own company.
Yeah, it's interesting. I really ended up here precisely because most of my career really was in business, and ended up having this particular take on the politics industry because most of my career was in for-profit industry. And really how it went is, I mean, a long time ago, growing up, I was all about politics, and then eventually, I was in business, and I got really engaged again because I cared about the direction of the country. I cared about the policies, and I now had a daughter, since then a son, and it's sort of prototypical, which is, what is the world we're leaving to our children, and how are things going? And it didn't take too long, after pretty much intense engagement, to be disappointed with the results out of Washington, D.C. And so I went through what I call my 5 stages of political grief, which was sort of my turn of how could we fix this? Oh, we need better candidates. Oh, that doesn't work. We need better policy. Oh, we have good policies, no one will pass it. Oh, we need a better culture where people want to work together. Oh, they say they want to work together, but they really don't. In the end, they vote the same way. Oh, I know, we need independent candidates that aren't beholden to the duopoly. Shoot, they can't get elected. So those are the first 4 stages of grief. And finally, it was made clear to me that, politics isn't broken. Washington isn't broken. It's working how it's designed to work, which is to say that we have a systems problem. And I read this phenomenal book by Mickey Edwards, a former Republican congressman who wrote about the parties versus the people. And he brought forth to me this systems argument, and I have never looked back. Now, it's actually quite embarrassing in a sense that it took me that long to figure it out, because everything is a systems challenge, really, right? In our businesses, we're trying to figure out what are the systems, what are the incentives, what's the behavior that follows from those incentives. And when we see a problem, we don't hope for change. we don't get a new leader on top of a totally dysfunctional business processes and think that, you know, if our company meetings are more inspirational, then our business processes are sort of not going to suck anymore. You know, we think we should fix that. And yet in politics, we've never looked at it with the same analytical view.
So I got the sense from reading your book that you started out on a kind of a progressive left-leaning bent politically, and then Michael kind of came with the sort of right-leaning, and so between the two of you, you felt like, look, this is nonpartisan, which I agree with. But I just wanted to rewind to when you were younger, and it seemed like you were highly engaged politically. Were there particular candidates that you liked or didn't like? How would you classify yourself at that time?
Growing up, I was absolutely Republican. I grew up in a Republican area, a Republican family. I remember picking up the Gerald Ford button that had been discarded at my elementary school on the sidewalk.
Oh, you know what's funny is because you and Michael described this thing, and I wasn't sure which was which.
Oh, did he? Okay. Well, he is a conservative as well, but point being, I grew up as a Republican. It was 5th grade, and I picked up the Gerald Ford button. I was so, you know, sad that he had lost, and I continued into high school, at which point I definitely consider myself a libertarian. And eventually, when I got back involved as, you know, sort of in my professional adult life, I lived in Chicago, and I chose to work with then State Senator, you know, Barack Obama. And so I got involved as a Democrat. You know, there's only two sides. I actually would not, first of all, I describe myself now as politically homeless. I would tell you that even then I was politically homeless if you wanted to actually map my policy views against what the parties say they're for, which of course we know is also different than what they get done. But I'm actually, I mean, I'm still so politically homeless, but I'm very fiscally conservative. I was deeply concerned about the debt and the deficit. I was waiting for the grand bargain in the Obama administration, watching every day like it was the, you know, biggest drama going on, and disappointed when we couldn't get that done. So long story short, I'm really a true independent. And Michael, my co-author from Harvard, is what he calls a Massachusetts Republican. And if you think about that, that's, you know, Mitt Romney and Charlie Baker, these Republican governors of blue states. There's a bit of a, well, not just a bit, there's quite a bit of pragmatism in Massachusetts state politics. So we come together more from the business angle and from the solving problems angle, and from less of an ideological religion place and more of a look at these things that aren't working. We have a lot going for us in this country. We must be able to solve these. We can't look at 2 decades and say, oh yeah, we still did nothing about that.
I come from a similar background where I ran a private company. It doesn't sound like it was as big as Gale Foods, but there's like a similar orientation where you're there, you're leading a team of people, you have problems, and you're like, all right, like how do we try to move the organization forward? How do we solve that problem? How do we grow revenue? How do we get more customers? How do we reduce expenses? And there's this entire constant atmosphere of objectivity that suffuses the place, because if you're a small private company, you're not allowed to lie to yourself, really. Like if you lie to yourself, then things are going to go poorly for your business pretty quickly. And it sounds like that was like a similar set of experiences you had, because you ran a private company, and I imagine like there's a similar culture of data and results. Is that right?
Absolutely. You know, when I came into my company, it really was a turnaround situation. So we were not even on a flat trajectory. You know, we were headed the wrong direction. So there was a lot of urgency. And the internal dynamics and the management decisions that you just speak of ring true to me. But here's the other point that I'll bring up. The pressure on us,
What?
you as CEO of your test prep company, me as CEO of Gale Foods, is given in large part by the marketplace, which is to say, oh, if my customers don't like these products, or they don't like the price or the quality or whatever, it's not working, they're not going to buy from me because they have other choices. And if eventually, you know, they're so dissatisfied, but they don't have enough other choices, a new competitor is going to come in this market to say, we can make, you know, the products Catherine makes. I made sort of high-tech dairy products, so dairy products that were shelf-stable, nachos and diet drinks and yogurt smoothies and things. But so someone else can come in the market and offer that product better, and then we're done. You know, I mean, we can come back, but point being, revenues go down. We're accountable to our customers. And what ended up happening when I was sort of wrestling with this systems problem is I was doing my company strategy, and I was saying, hey, how come I have to serve my customers in order to keep and grow my business? That's the connection. And in politics, our elected officials, let's say in Congress, there is not a connection between serving the public interest, doing what the citizens need their government to do, and getting reelected. Those things are not connected. And the second thing that's not connected is, how come 90% of citizens are sort of regularly surveyed as being dissatisfied with Congress, and dissatisfied with both parties? You know, over 50% think we need a new third party, but we never get any new competition. How come?
Yeah, it's like a marketplace where market dynamics don't apply, like the kind of business physics that you expect, or the market dynamics just don't apply because of a number of reasons that you lay out with Michael in your book. How did you connect with Michael on this book, which I thought was a very impressive work and really important? Like, how did the two of you decide, you know what, there needs to be a book on the politics industry, and I'm gonna write half of it, you're gonna write half of it, like, how did that come about?
Well, actually, I developed politics industry theory beginning in 2013 when I was still full-time running my company, and it came out of my company strategy project when I was using Michael Porter's 5 forces to do this strategy project for this high-tech dairy foods company. And that was when all these key epiphanies came. So I already had sort of the 5 forces completed and understood the dysfunction in the election system and the legislative machinery and everything. But it was almost like I just found it interesting for myself. You know, I wasn't intending to write on it or do anything. It was just like, oh my gosh, that's so fascinating. Then, after I sold my company, because I knew some innovations and changes we needed in the system, I wanted to work on those. I started working on them and couldn't really get business people engaged. They were MIA. And it goes back to what we said at the beginning. It's almost like these business people felt that, you know, Congress and politics was totally irrational. And they just couldn't get their mind around how they could ever make a difference over there, because it was inconceivable to them how they keep doing what they're doing. And I decided that I needed to write a business case. I needed to write a thesis for investment, not of money, although that too, but of time and engagement that would appeal to all the, you know, business people in the country to understand, no, politics is every bit as rational, and the actors in there are rational the same way they are in our business. And if we look at systems instead of the fight, the drama, the front end, we can figure out how to fix it. And so I wanted to write it and use the 5 forces and everything, and I actually asked Michael to join me as my co-author, really just as a favor, so that...
Did you know Michael at that time?
Yeah, I knew him, yes. Actually, he worked with me on my company strategy. So I'd done the 5 forces with the Michael Porter, you know, but we hadn't worked on politics. He wasn't involved in politics. That was not his thing.
So Michael Porter wrote a seminal business book called 5 Forces that ended up becoming this management consulting framework for business problems. And so what he suggested was, look, when you arrive at a business set of decisions, then you should examine the 5 forces that go into that situation. And so those 5 forces, I'm going to miss at least one of them. So I'm going to supply a couple, and then you can fill out the other 3. So
5,
one's competitors, 2 is suppliers, 3 is substitutes, 4 is, and then go ahead and give us 4 and 5.
The ones you missed are the barriers to entry and the channels. And the 5 forces says, how is the power and the value in this industry divided up? And on what basis is it divided up? And that's what we end up seeing using these 5 forces, is that the customers in the politics industry don't have much of the power or the value.
If you're listening to this show, you probably love podcasts. I want to recommend one that we've been listening to and dabbling into, and that has some fascinating stuff that's made for the Yang Gang in many ways, or made for our listeners in many ways. So the Jordan Harbinger Show is what we're talking about. And I just listened to one with a guy named David Schimmer, who comes and talks about how our elections have been kind of covertly interfered with for the past 100 years. So like, election interference is not new. It is something that's been happening for a while. Sometimes it's foreign, sometimes it's harmless, sometimes it doesn't affect the election at all, sometimes it's massive. And it was really fascinating to listen to this guy. Jordan just has this ability to talk to some of the brilliant minds out there and make it simple for us to, simple and actionable for us to take things away. So search for the Jordan Harbinger Show. That's H-A-R-B as in boy, I-N as in Nancy, G-E-R on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. That's Jordan Harbinger Show. You can Google it, you can find it on podcast, and it's worth your time, it's worth your energy, it's worth your frankly, it's a ton of interesting people. Check it out, Jordan Harbinger Show.
He's the harbinger of knowledge. So you, back in 2013, you started musing to yourself, you know what, like the business case analysis that we use actually would apply to politics. So you'd look up and say, okay, what are the channels? What are the barriers to entry? The barriers to entry are incredibly high in politics. Like I said, there is that.
All right,
All right, I'm done. I'm gonna go. I might be back on at 10. I need a nap.